also, Peter, lots of crocodile questions coming in.
I can imagine. So you want to ask one or two of those?
Yeah, there's Richard, who's a student curious about crocodiles. He noticed that the crocodile did not go over towards the drinking lionesses until they'd left the edge of the water. You mentioned that Nile crocodiles can grow much larger than this, and maybe surpass 20 feet. What is the largest prey that such a crocodile could attempt to catch? Could it take an adult Cape buffalo? Also, would crocodiles that large attack something as formidable as an adult male lion? Would it be vulnerable to lions when it's ventured onto the land? Lots of questions.
All right, there's a whole range of questions there. Yeah, we're looking at the crocodile. Just to sort of pose Richard's question, asking, you noticed this croc only went closer to those lionesses once they'd left. So essentially was probably more investigating if they disturbed something maybe for him to catch rather than the lionesses themselves. But question then Richard's building up to is basically your big crocodiles, the largest prey they can take. Richard, you look at your really big crocodiles, the Mara River for instance. We spoke about Masai Mara and Serengeti earlier. The Mara River has got some of the bigger crocodiles around, 5-6 meters, 1 ton about, and they can take adult wildebeest, adult zebra. I think for a crocodile to take an adult buffalo might be a little bit much, but certainly a calf. And yeah, for some reason if a buffalo finds himself in deep water and there's 2 or 3 of those big crocodiles around, then of course they would be in trouble as well. Just keep in mind, crocodiles are sort of relatively primitive hunters. They don't have a lot of technique. If you look at lions for instance, they've got a lot of different techniques, going for the suffocating the animal, getting over the nose, working together as a team. There's a whole variety of ways that they actually sort of consciously plan the hunt, or the execution of it at least. Crocodiles more just sort of grab and then rip and tear. They can't chew through things as well, so even if one crocodile got hold of a buffalo, it just wouldn't be able to kill the buffalo. But yeah, they can certainly take large prey. I mean, I'm sure you've maybe seen some of the documentaries where you've got a crocodile and he literally engulfs something like a zebra. Around here, this guy we're looking at now, main diet will be fish still, a lot of catfish mainly, tilapia. Probably catch smaller things on the banks, bird life and so on, maybe some small mammals. And then one other part of that question, Richard, you're asking if it'll ever attack a male lion. Very unlikely. Again, it's a possibility. All these things will happen, but it's just a matter of if it's sort of a random thing or a normal or a more normal thing. I've seen a crocodile once go for a leopard, where it snapped at the leopard, with the leopard obviously very quick. As the crocodile started coming out of the water, the leopard just jumped back. And then I know of a case where a crocodile actually grabbed hold of a lion, a big male lion, dragged him into the water. I think it was on a river in Kruger somewhere. I stand to be corrected exactly the details. But dragged the lion into the water, and a few minutes later or a few seconds later, the lion came out and he had the crocodile by the throat. So they'll certainly try, and I'm sure there's occasions where the crocodile won and occasions where the lions win, but it's not something typical. Again, they tend to not have eyes much bigger than their stomachs, wisely so as well, otherwise they wouldn't survive for too long. Well, a beautiful setting here, stunning colors, reflections on the water there. Sorry, I see you got another question there. Look at the sunrise there as well.
Beautiful, lovely shot. Yeah, we've got 2 questions through. Well, one question from 2 people, from Jerry and also from Linda in Michigan. Where did that croc come from? Is there a river nearby? And that's my question as well. Where did he come from?
Well, as to where this crocodile came from, we speculated yesterday. We didn't see any tracks on any of the southern roads. Now, typically, crocodiles find waterholes by walking downstream or downhill at least. Obviously, if you head more downhill, you're likely to find bigger bodies of water than you are uphill. So, since we didn't see any tracks, most likely this crocodile came from just up north here somewhere, Buffelshoek, and probably from one of the bigger dams. There's a big dam up there called Kayamanzi, and another big dam called Big Dam, and there's some crocodiles up there sometimes. So, most likely he just decided from there he's going to head down. perfectly capable of surviving on land. The crocodiles, keep in mind, when they're young, they actually live on land for the first short part of their life. They're actually catching insects, grasshoppers and all that kind of stuff. So they are 100% capable of living on land. It's just as they get bigger and bigger, obviously it's easier to live in water. Yeah, that is stunning. Look at the sun rising off the surface of the water there. So any other questions, or shall we go see those lionesses, see what they're up to?
Nothing more at the moment. Yeah, let's look for lionesses.
Hopefully it sticks around. Quick glance, it looks like it's flying off again. Don't know if we'll see it. It's in the undergrowth there now. Just see the bright red cap. Unfortunately, we're looking straight just low over the car's bonnet now, so that distortion sees from the heat of the engine. Oh, look at that little red hat. Quick glance, looked like a golden-tailed woodpecker. It's flying away. Oh, they're on the ground. Awesome. That's not very common. Woodpeckers, of course, specialize in living in the trees, really. That's where they feed 90% of the time. I think this is the first time in, I can't remember when last I saw a woodpecker on the ground like that. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that little red hood as well. Of course, that very long beak, relatively long beak, I guess, not very long, but also very strong, and that's what they use to break open things. In this case, a little bit of sand, but again, typically speaking, they'll be breaking open little holes and cavities in old dead tree trunks. Now, what's also quite amazing is that they have these long tongues. Basically, imagine a rubber spear almost. Just a very pliable one. So that once they have broken open the little hole, then they can get in there. They stick the tongue all the way down the hole, and then they've got little barbs at the end of it, and they can actually grab hold of small things like little grubs and worms and insect larvae and so on inside the wood and pull it out. And the same there as well. If he does find something down in that little hole, he can stick the tongue further down for quite a few centimeters. So quite a handy adaptation that they've got, giving them their specific or special niche. Brilliant. We might even get another look if we're lucky, but I think that's the best we've seen a woodpecker on drive ever.